All right, folks. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to more of the Zelda 2 All Keys tournament. We just got done watching an exciting race between Simpoldood and Pierpont Lemkin. Simpoldood won the race by about 4 minutes, so he is now currently 2-0 in Group A play here. So now his next opponent, we've got Simpoldood taking on JamEvil. This is JamEvil's first race in the round robin World Cup style matchups. So we've got two great competitors here. Simpoldood, I believe, was the winner of last year's Zelda 2 tournament, and he's got a PB time of 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 22 seconds, whereas JamEvil has a PB time of 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 56 seconds. So anything can happen. Simpoldood does have the advantage in terms of what the PBs are, but anything can happen in Zelda 2. It can troll you, and if it trolls you enough, it can make a race out of this. So it's always anybody's game until the final hit on Dark Link is placed on. So I expect this to be a very good race, and we will find out what kind of excitement and thrills we're going to see between these two great competitors in a matter of moments. All right, and these two racers are now underway. So both of these players are going to be making their way into what we call Magic Cave. They will be getting their first Magic Container upgrade. That will give them to 5 units. What they're hoping for is to get the lucky drop of a P-Bag on the final enemy that they strike. There is only a 1 out of 8 chance that they're going to get this 50-point P-Bag. The other 7/8 of the time, it's just going to be a blue jar drop. And it doesn't look like either player got the lucky 50-point P-Bag, so they're going to have to work a little bit harder to get to attack 4 out of Palace 1, the Parappa Palace. And it looks like they are diverging paths, much like we saw in the Simpoldood Pierpont Lemkin race. JamEvil's opting to go ahead and do the trophy cave in the dark so he can get those lost experience points that he couldn't get from the 50-point P-Bag drop. Gets rid of this red Gorilla, no problem at all, and gets the trophy, which in my opinion looks more like an angel that you put on top of the Christmas tree, but that's just my opinion on it. So JamEvil is going to make his way back, and now Simpoldood right now is in the town of Rauru, and he has just picked up the shield spell. What the shield spell does, of course, is when you use it, all damage that you take is reduced by 1/2. And that can be very useful later on, especially against enemies that deal a tremendous amount of damage against you. Now we see here that JamEvil has also made his way into the town of Rauru, where he too is going to pick up that shield spell. Simpoldood making his way into the cave. Now he can't see anything without the candle. There is one louder on this screen here, and Simpoldood makes quick work out of it. No problems there. So now Simpoldood here, let's see if he is able to perform the bubble encounter skip. If he takes an encounter on the exact same tile where the skip occurs, he'll be able to skip that entire screen, and that's going to save him a bunch of time. Is he able to get it? Yes, he is. Simpoldood successful with the bubble skip. So now he's going to make it to this patchy grass area with where the first heart container that he's going to pick up is. That's guarded by this orange Gorilla right here. Makes quick work out of it, does not take any damage, and he'll make his way now into Palace 1, the Parappa Palace. Now JamEvil's in that dark cave as well, and he has no problem. But he's going to let the louder go. He is a little bit more conscientious of the enemies here and decides to spare his life. Simpoldood has no trouble with that bubble screen. And, ooh, it doesn't look like JamEvil is able to get the encounter skip. He takes an encounter here in the desert. That's going to cost him quite a bit of time, folks. That is not what JamEvil wanted to see to start things off. Simpoldood has now entered the beginning of the palace. And can he get the skip? No! Ooh. Bad luck for JamEvil, so he's going to find himself quite a ways behind early on. A Simpoldood at the end of Palace 1 is going to be looking to get attack 4. He's going to have to get lucky and get some P-Bag drops from the large drop enemies such as Iron Knuckles and those Doom Knockers, or the Goomas as they are called, spelled G-U-M-A. Not to be confused with the boss Gooma that we're going to be seeing later on in the run. Daclor in chat says he's calling 4 red jars. A TG would love you for that because, as we all know, TG loves his Schadenfreude. One of these days, we'll probably get to partner up and call a race or two during the Zelda 2 tournament. We'll see when that happens. In any event, now JamEvil's found his way into the Parappa Palace as well. The item in the Parappa Palace, of course, is the candle. And with the candle, the very important item you're able to see in those caves, much like the few caves that we've seen early on that were completely dark. However, some people do play this game without a candle. Believe me, it takes a lot of commitment to do that. I mean, to even do Death Mountain or even the Valley of Death without the candle, yeah, good luck to me. I would definitely need it. I mean, I got to commend players who try to run Zelda 1 without the candle. But of course, that's for the any percent category. Obviously, you need to have the candle for the 100% all keys tournament. Ooh, Simpoldood takes a bopping there, so that'll cost him his beam sword. Unfortunately, in this game, the beam sword doesn't go out as far as it does in Zelda 1. But it still is quite useful for medium range attacks on some of these enemies. 30 points for that red Stelphos kill. That's one of the items that could potentially have a large drop. There's small drop enemies and large drop enemies. Every 6 enemies you kill of that set will give you that drop. It's either going to be a blue jar or a 50-point P-Bag on the small enemy drops. Again, only a 1 out of 8 chance it's going to be the P-Bag. With the red jar drop, that refills your entire magic, and the 200-point P-Bags, there's a 50-50 chance on either showing up. Simpoldood does not take damage from those bots on that precarious area before the bridge. Simpoldood will pick up this 50-point P-Bag. Let's see if... All right, so both of them have the same amount of life. It looks like they probably took the same damage. So they're going to be looking for P-Bags now. Simpoldood is getting very close to the candle. Hey, he gets one of the P-Bag drops he needs, the Simpoldood. So that's really going to help his chances getting to attack 4 at the end of Palace 1 as Simpoldood has picked up the candle. Jam's about to approach the same area, that same bridge where he's going to try. Ooh, bots greeted him very rudely on Simpoldood, so he's got about half of his health remaining here. Boy, nice job by JamEvil to get through the bubble section without taking any damage. However, the bots greeted him with some lovin'. Now let's see if JamEvil is going to get just as lucky with the P-Bag drop. Now he's got to be careful with health. He's down to just 1 bar of health left. Simpoldood's getting very close to the boss of Parappa Palace. Name is Horsehead, worth 50 experience points. Oh, and Simpoldood goes 2 for 2 on large P-Bag drops. He's on pace for attack 4. That was a very good horse head fight there by Simpoldood. So he's going to get out of Palace 1 in just a little bit over 8 minutes time. Oh, and very unfortunate. So it is not a very good feeling because JamEvil just got a red jar drop right there. So it's not looking good for his chances of getting attack 4 out of Palace 1. And he's going to go ahead and pick up the fairy. He was low on health anyways. Simpoldood has now made his way into Trophy Cave where he'll be able to see everything. So all the enemies there, you've got the Octoroks, and you've got that red Gorilla at the end. Oh, but JamEvil does get this P-Bag drop here at the end. So he's still going to be on pace to get to attack 4 as long as he doesn't accidentally level up, which he doesn't. So he will also get out of Palace 1 with 4-1-1. Now let's see how he does with Horsehead. One more hit and he's gone. Got to be very careful here. 3 more hits left on Horsehead, and he got him. Very good fight there for JamEvil. Clutch at the end, so he's going to get that key to get out of Palace 1. So both of them are on track with their attacks. Now, Simpoldood, because he's got the trophy, he's now in the town of Rudo with the trophy. He gives the trophy to that girl right there. She lets him in so that he can get the jump spell. The jump spell is needed for access out of the next cave that he's about to embark. Enables him to jump much higher than he does right now. And this is one of the very few games that Link jumps. There's a P-Bag drop there, and he's going to go ahead and pick it up for an extra 50 experience points. Every little bit helps. So Simpoldood is making his way towards the cave that's got Octoroks, Gorillas, the Aches. Some people call them the Keys, which is the name it's known by in other Zelda games. This is the only game that the Keys are known by Aches. And then the red ones that look like Aches but then evolved into vampire-like creatures, they're called Aikmen. JamEvil returning the trophy to that girl, so he too is going to get that jump spell from the town of Rudo. That was an interesting spawn of that Aikman. He was in his full form right there. You don't see that quickly. Simpoldood. Let's see if he is able to get to Bagu's house without any encounters. And if he got very unlucky the last time he raced, but he's more luckier this time around. No encounters here for Simpoldood. Very well done. So he talks to Bagu, and with the note, he could show the note to the guardsmen running the bridge in the town of Saria, named after one of my favorite sages of the game of Ocarina of Time. In fact, many of the towns, except for Kasuto, would later be named as characters in the game of Ocarina of Time. Most of them are sages, with the exception of Mito, who is the bully of Link in Kokiri Forest. And here Simpoldood is in the town of Saria. Now, in the town of Saria, he has to find a mirror in one of the houses to give to a woman who then can get the life spell. The life spell enables you to fill up 3 of your lost health meter bars. Because, of course, you have to have enough magic to cast that spell. Now, let's see if JamEvil is able to get through this without any encounters, making his trip to Bagu's house as well. Oh, but he gets trolled by that small encounter in the swamp, so that'll cost him some more time. Goes ahead and goes to magic level 2. He's at 422, and right now Simpoldood's at 411. Ooh, a second encounter before you can make it to Bagu's house. It has not been a good trek for JamEvil. By the way, for those of you who don't know, when Link picks up the mirror in this town, he says, I found a mirror under the table. That's one of the very few dialogue lines spoken by Link in the entirety of the Legend of Zelda series. Of course, there's another famous line in Wind Waker where he's always yelling, "Come on!" But other than that, not much dialogue for Link in the Legend of Zelda series. They like to keep him mute. Jam now is in the town of Saria as well. Simpoldood's at the beginning of Death Mountain. Of course, beginning of Death Mountain, the enemies are not too bad. You've got these bots, you've got moblins, some gorillas, some octoroks, some aches. Then you get deeper into Death Mountain, and you're going to run into some enemies that probably caused a lot of kids troubles back in the day. The blue gorillas, unlike the red and orange gorillas, can give you large drops because they're worth 30 experience points as opposed to 20 for the other two. We see that JamEvil has got the magic spell of life, so he's got that. So all he's got to do now is talk to the guard so he can cross the bridge, and he can make his way to Death Mountain as well. And here it is, the orange Dairas. If you don't know the patterns very well, you're going to take a lot of damage from them and probably end up getting killed. Nice kill of that Bago there by Simpoldood to avoid taking damage and losing some of those experience points. And here's the more difficult red Dairas that throw axes at you, but he makes quick work of them without even showing the axe. So, boy, what a kill there for Simpoldood. Of course, when they throw the axes, they usually throw it in a set pattern, but sometimes they like to throw you, and they'll throw double or even triple axes at you very quickly consecutively. If you're not ready for it, you're not going to make it. And now JamEvil's made his way to the beginning of Death Mountain. Good Daira kill there for Simpoldood. Gets the P-Bag drop. Double P-Bag drop. He gets the 50 and the 200. My goodness gracious. The rich just keep on getting richer. And that's a good thing. Well, he didn't have to use any magic, so the red jar he doesn't even have to grab unless he can if he wanted to refill his life, which he does. Then grabs the red jar. Boy, luck is running on Simpoldood's side so far. Jam getting trolled by these aches right here. 3 times now he got bopped by those aches. You definitely don't want to take too much damage because past that elevator, he's going to see his first orange Daira, but he makes quick work out of him. No problems there. No problems for the red Daira from Simpoldood, as he's now in this room here that's got a lot of lava pits, guarded by this spiky Mew enemy. Got to be careful because if you don't time it right, he can knock into the lava pits and cost you one of your precious lives because you don't have the fairy spell yet to save you at this juncture. Simpoldood getting another P-Bag drop from that orange Daira. It's getting all the money here. There's the hammer pickup for Simpoldood. Hammer, of course, used to smash those boulders so you can get into many of the required caves that are going to be coming up. I can answer that question. The PBs for these two players, Simpoldood's got a PB of 75 minutes and 22 seconds. Jam's PB is 82 minutes and 56 seconds. Jam also getting the lucky P-Bag drop from the Daira. Simpoldood picks up the 6th magic container for his magic meter. And with full health, picking up the red jar, Jam is back in full business right here. Got to be a little bit careful here. These gaps between the lava pits are much larger than you have seen prior to this. So got to be very careful that you don't get bopped by those red octors. But if you just keep moving, chances are you're going to have no problems at all. Right, Simpoldood here has approached this double bridge here. The first half of the bridge, not too hard. You got a couple of moblins here and this louder that's just randomly there. I don't know why it's there. It's just there. Red jar drop from that Dyra on Jam's side, so not getting the P-bag luck that Simpoldood's been getting. Second half's much more difficult. You've got this red Dyra to deal with and all these bubbles that are coming up after you that's going to cause you a lot of damage if you're not careful. Takes the encounter on the road, so nothing wrong there for Simpoldood. He made it okay. So let's see if he can get through Boulder Dash successfully. Trying to do the manipulations properly as JamEvil has picked up the hammer in Death Mountain. Gets through the skip there, no problems. Does he make it to Boulder Dash? Yes, he does. No encounters for Simpoldood. Well played. Just got to be careful of these bagos, but ooh, the louders do a little bit of a number on Simpoldood there. Pretty good room there for Simpoldood. Now just got to get past these three Dyras. You got one orange and then two red that's guarding this medicine, this water of life. And you need this water of life for the town of Mito in order to pick up the fairy spell, a very important spell in the game indeed. Now we see that Jam has crushed that boulder, so he too can get up to 6 units of magic as well. No problems at all for Simpoldood on the trek back. He'll pick up this one-up doll here that's right next to this cave. Now, one thing you got to be careful of as a casual player, once you pick up a one-up doll, it's gone for good. You will never, ever see it again, even when you reset the game after you've saved it. You pick it up once, it's a one-time thing. And now Simpoldood has made his way into the town of Mito. A couple of things he's going to be picking up here in Mito. When he gives the water of life to the one villager, he'll be granted the fairy spell used to get to hard to reach places and definitely required. There are several areas where it's an absolute must to have the fairy spell to get across. Now, here on top of this church here, this is where Link can get the downward stab, a very OP weapon to have in the game of Zelda 2. Because it allows you to downward stab and use the jackhammer, or as some people call it, the yak hammer approach, to defeat enemies, particularly the Barba at the end. You can do a quick one cycle on them. It's a risky strat, but it can save you a lot of time if you execute it properly. Jam gets through the desert, no problems there. Let's see how lucky he is on the Boulder Dash trek. So far, so good. He makes it as well without any encounters. He's quite pleased about that. Simpoldood, meanwhile, here he's in the house where he is picking up that fairy spell. This magic word will give you power. Again, it's not please and thank you. We're looking for fairy. Jam getting the P-bag drop from that red Dyra. They're relatively close in experience points. Probably in good shape, both of them, to get to attack 6 out of Palace 2, which Simpoldood's just about ready to get to. Now, right now, it's a 4-2-2 versus a 4-2-3. So Jam's got a little bit of an edge in terms of the life meter. Now Simpoldood's going to make his way through the Maduro swamp, but before he does that, he's going to go into this cave that was blocked by a boulder. Now, this cave is very important because behind it, we've got ourselves a heart container, so that would put Simpoldood at 6 units of health. Simpoldood's going to ferry his way, picking up the heart. That saves on the animation for when Link, whenever he picks up a valuable treasure. So that's a few seconds saved right there. Just a minor encounter on the road for Jam on his way to Mito Town. Everything should be good to go. Oh, he mistimes his input to get to the town, and that's going to cost him a few seconds, folks. That should have been free right there. Now let's see how he does Simpoldood here in the swamp encounters. So far, so good. He takes the encounter on the road, which is not the worst thing in the world. So he's going to try again and see if that's the only encounter he takes. But no, he gets the heavy encounter with these flying birds known as Mobies. And if they hit you, they're quite a nuisance. You're going to lose some experience points. Let's see if Simpoldood can make it to the tile. He does. He's going to gamble here. Does he take the encounter? Nope. He makes it. So here he is in the Maduro Palace, the second palace of the game. And the item here in the Maduro Palace is the Magic Glove. And the Magic Glove here, don't question Nintendo's logic here. The Magic Glove is used to strengthen not your hands, but your sword. Because what it does is with the Magic Glove, with the sword, you're able to break these bricks. And you're going to need to do that quite often in this game. So it's a very powerful thing to have, but why is it a Magic Glove and why does it power up your sword? I'll never know. But meanwhile, Jam has refilled on his magic right there, and he's already got the downward stab. So all he's got to do now is pick up the fairy spell. Now, Simpoldood, ooh, that was a nice little conglomeration of bot kills there for Simpoldood with the downward stab. A nice little domino effect there. So that was a pretty nifty move there. Nice kill of the two ropes there for Simpoldood. Doesn't need to pick up that 50-point P bag. Now, Simpoldood is getting very close to a precarious area in the second palace. Now, you have to pick up a key that is guarded by several bots. Now, that may sound not so bad, but the area that he's going to be on is surrounded by lava pits. And these bots, no one likes bots because bots tend to like to push you into lava pits. So you got to be very careful here when you get to that screen. And we see that now JamEvil's into that cave where he'll pick up his 6-heart container, but ooh, he took a little bit of damage there from that blue gorilla. Does the same thing, uses the fairy to pick up that heart to save on the animation. Here he is in that room. Picks the key, does not use the fairy spell, and no trouble at all. The bots cooperated with Simpoldood, so that was a very well played screen right there. See how Jam does here in the swamp. So far, so good. Can he make it? Wow, look at that. No encounters in the swamp for JamEvil, so he'll gain a little bit of time on Simpoldood there, and he gets the lucky red jar out of that Iron Knuckle statue. So he's in a pretty good position right now. Now, this is a room that can really troll you here. This is where these blocks fall randomly. If these blocks don't fall the way they want to, there is a chance you can get trapped there, and it's going to cost you one of your lives because you have to take the death in order to progress further because you can't crush those blocks until you pick up the Power Glove. So it's very trolly of the game to put that gauntlet before the Power Glove cave. So now that Simpoldood's got the Power Glove, he is chasing down that red Iron Knuckle like crazy. He is doing the moonwalk, folks, that red Iron Knuckle, and no damage there for Simpoldood. So now he's going to backtrack. He'll pick up this 50-point P bag, and the blocks cooperate, so no problems there for Simpoldood. Jam's taking care of a couple of ropes there to build up his experience total. Right now it's 5-2-2. Nice Fire Moa kill there. Now it's 5-2-3 versus 4-2-3. So it looks like I would believe, oh, and there's a nice lucky P bag drop there for Simpoldood, but considering how low he is on magic, maybe he did want the red jar. Experience should not be a factor for either of these players. Simpoldood's getting very close to the boss of the Maduro Palace, and his name is Helmet Head. He's worth 200 experience points, fairly easy battle, but you got to be careful of those helmets. You want to try and kill them as quickly as possible because once those helmets are flying around, they can fire at you and cause a tremendous amount of damage. And much like death in Castlevania, the helmets stay up for a while even after the fight is over, and you can still take damage if they're shooting at you. So just got to be careful that you can take them out quickly and not get hit by those helmets. Jam has now approached that bridge as well, full of those treacherous spots. He picks up the key. Now he casts the fairy. So he's going to go ahead and play it safe. No problem with that. He almost used the fairy too early there, but he did grab the key in time. Simpoldood is just a few screens away from the fight. He's going to grab this red jar that's behind those blocks. That's a smart play. Not even going to bother picking up that 100-point experience bag. He's definitely got enough points to get to attack level 6. Doesn't even have to kill the red iron knuckle either. He knows exactly what he's doing. Now, for magic number 3, you need 300 points. And for life level 4, you need 400 points. So, yeah, he's definitely in good shape. That's the reason why he's just jackhammering past the orange and red iron knuckles. He doesn't need any more points. It's not worth it. Doesn't need them. JamEvil gets lucky. He's going to pick up the 50-point P bag now rather on the way back. And boy, what a quick helmet head fight Simpoldood just had. Boy, that was tremendous. Very well played. He's going to get out of Palace 2 sub 30 minutes. And JamEvil has just picked up the Power Glove himself. See how Simpoldood does out of the Maduro Swamp here. Ooh, at the very last second, that light encounter gets him. And there's the attack 6 for Simpoldood. See how the rest of the Swamp Trek goes for Simpoldood. Ooh, another encounter there. However, those were the only 2, so not a bad trek there for Simpoldood. So now he's going to make his way into the graveyard, and he'll go ahead and go to King's Tomb so that he avoids any graveyard because those are nasty encounters with those floating Moas around. Yeah, JamEvil has more than enough experience points, so he'll be getting 623 out of Palace 2 as well. All right, Simpoldood making his way to the 3rd palace, making sure that he doesn't take any encounters. Will he get there? Yes, he does. This is the Island Palace here, the 3rd palace of Zelda 2. But unfortunately for Simpoldood, does not get the red jar drop. He'll have to settle for 100 experience points from that red iron knuckle. Now, the item in the Island Palace is the raft. And the raft is only used once. The only time you use the raft is to get to Eastern Hyrule, where the rest of the towns and palaces are. JamEvil now making his way towards the end of the Maduro Palace himself. He's got to get through a few more screens, and he should be good to go. And much like Simpoldood, JamEvil doesn't need that tempting 100-point experience bag. He's got more than enough points, and just like Simpoldood, not needing to kill those red iron knuckles or the iron knuckles that are coming up on this screen as well. So he's getting ready to fight Horsehead himself. And he goes ahead and kills the orange iron knuckle, no problem. I mean, it's an easy kill. It only takes a couple hits. Reds are stronger, and then the blue ones coming up pack a lot of punch. So let's see how Jam does on. That was also a very good Helmet Head fight for Jam. So both of them showing off their skills against Helmet Head, making quick work out of them. That was a very good fight there for Jam. Now Simpoldood makes it to my favorite part of Palace. This is the outside of Palace 3 that is guarded by a red iron knuckle and some of those orange fiery Moas, but he's got to go up there to a key. But it's a nice change of scenery. Link can get some fresh air before he goes back into the palace. Jam taking an encounter in the swamp. He's hoping that's the only one he takes. Gets back to the road. Let's see if he can make it through the rest of the way. Ooh, he gets back to the grass, so it's not such a bad encounter as opposed to being in the swamp. So both of them taking 2 encounters in the swamp. Ooh, and Jam takes a third one, but this one's on the road, so it's not so bad for him. So pretty even in terms of encounters coming out of the Maduro swamp for both of them. Simpoldood picking up the raft, and he could have ferried there to save on the animation for Link picking up the raft, but he's going to save his magic for later. Simpoldood ignoring that pee bag. He doesn't need it. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows how he's doing on the experience front. What he's going to be wanting to get to at the end of this palace is to get to attack level 7. And so far, it's a 2-minute and 40-second gap between the two players. And I see that on Jam. He got a gold split on his palace, too. So he had quite a good palace, too, just then. Unfortunately for JamEvil, he took an encounter before he was able to get to the third palace. And Double, unfortunately, doesn't get the red jar drop. And so his magic remains low. Simpoldood's in a room that we're going to see a lot in the next palace. This room full of blocks and these wolf-like statues called Maus, M-A-U. You get 5 experience points from them, but they take away experience points if you get hit by them. Going to see a lot of that room in the next palace. Simpoldood approaching the end of this palace where he's going to be facing off against Rebanak, the boss of Island Palace. Both of them are at 633, and Simpoldood's just about ready to fight Rebanak. Okay, and here is that battle. He is worth 301 experience points. Yes, 301. It says 300 when you kill him, but the programmers can't math. I don't know why. It's such an easy number, but what are you going to do? Good first half of the fight. Boy, what a good Rebanak fight. Simpoldood had making quick work out of him. So he's going to get the key here, and he has enough experience points to go to 733 out of Palace 3. Meanwhile, Jam is now outside in Palace 3 where he's picking up the key. He levels up to life level 4. Now, to get to life level 5, you need to have 800 experience points. So Jam's going to have a little more points that he needs, but given the P-bag drops he's been getting, should be no problem for him getting out with 734. One thing you got to be careful of when you are leveling up is make sure that you're not exiting the screen at the exact same time that you level up, because if you do that, the music continues to play, but you either get a black screen or a blue screen depending on where you are, and you end up soft locking the game, and that is no good. Simpoldood just goes back to the King's Tomb to avoid the encounter. No problems there, and he doesn't take an encounter on the road either as he rafts towards Eastern Hyrule. Speaking of the raft, Jam just picked up the raft in Palace 3. Simpoldood trying to make sure he takes no encounters, and he doesn't. And now Simpoldood is in the town of Naburu, a very nice, peaceful village, a lot of good restaurants, I'm sure. But there's this one villager, this one girl here that is very problematic. She is the laziest person in the land of Hyrule. She asks Link to get a drink of water, which is all well and good. But the fountain is 20 feet away from her. 20 gosh darn feet. And what happens when you give this girl the water? You end up getting the most useless spell in the entire game of Zelda 2. It is the fire spell, which does almost nothing. Now, yes, the fire spell is good for killing Tektites. It's the only way to kill Tektites. And yes, you can use it for other rooms as well that might look pretty cool. And yes, some people might use it for the Dark Link fight for more swag points. But other than that, it's useless. Throw it out. Of course, the old saying is when all else fails, use fire. But how much do you value that? Okay, so back to the game. That is the only thing you need to do in Naburu, and that means he's going to make his exit and continue his trek towards Darunia Town. Now, before he goes to Darunia Town, he's got to rescue a child. We'll get to that in a moment. Jam making his way out of that block room, no problems at all, as he's going to make his way towards the Rebanak fight himself. Let's see how Simple does. Oh, he gets a fairy encounter, which I guess isn't the worst thing in the world. Hopefully, that for his sake, that's the only encounter he gets. Nice slink there with the pause buffering. That's the only encounter he takes, so that was well played for Simpoldood. Now, here Simpoldood is here in this maze. Now, on the far right side, there is an encounter here where he's got to rescue a child. He needs to rescue that child to return to Darunia to one of the families. Using the fairy spell is very important here, because if you don't use the fairy spell, not only are you losing time on the animation where Link holds up the child, but also you run the risk, unless you kill that orange Lizalfos, you're going to get stabbed and take a lot of damage. So you got to make sure the best way to do it is use the fairy right there. Now, one thing I want to tell you guys, in the FDS version, the kid is bound in ropes. So in order to rescue the kid, you literally have to stab the kid in order to pick up the child. I mean, come on, Nintendo. Spare us the brutality, please. That was a very good Rebanak fight on JamEvil's end, so that is going to do it for Palace 3 for him. He's going to get out of there with Attack 7, Magic 3, and Life 4. Here's Simpoldood's going to try and get all of these skips here to Darunia. Gets the first one successfully. There are 2 encounter skips on the way to and out of Darunia. Let's see if he can get the second one. Does he get the second one? They're trolling him a bit. Does he get it? He does get the second one with a little bit of help from the pause buffering. He gets the second skip. Very good on Simpoldood. Right, so here in the town of Darunia, when you return the kidnapped child to the family, you end up getting the Reflect spell. Before you do that, actually, yep, he's going to fill up on his magic, because let's see what Simpoldood is. He going to do the super jump here? He does, but he misses on the first try. So he's just going to go ahead and do the fairy. Very well done. He does it in midair to boot. So very nifty move. He even tried the super jump, knew it wasn't going to work, so he's just used his fairy immediately. That'll save him a little bit of time there. So it's like a cross between the super jump and the fairy claws there to get to the building where you get the upward stab. I know there's one place in a palace where the upward stab is required because there is a key there that's guarded by blocks. Now we see that JamEvil has made his way into Naburu town as well, where he too is going to get the fire spell. Now, in addition to getting the upward stab, of course, Simpoldood's going to get the reflex spell for rescuing the child from this, that he returns to this old woman. And the reflex spell you have to have. It's the only way to kill Wizrobes in this game, and it's also required because it's the only thing that can kill the boss of the Maze Palace, who's named Karok. So both of them are in houses. Both of them are getting different magic spells. So Simpoldood's now going to make his way out of the town of Darunia and back into that maze. And this is a very treacherous quest because there are a lot of encounter skips that you're going to want to try and get through. And you can get trolled easily and lose several seconds. Gets the first encounter skip properly. Very good for Simpoldood. Let's see if he can go a perfect 4 for 4 in skips. Does he get it? Yes, he did. He goes 4 for 4 in Darunia encounter skips. Well done for Simpoldood. Now let's see how he does in this trek through the forest, going back into the maze. Trying to do the pause strats. He is cornered. Gets past that one. Very well played. Does another pause slink. Boy, oh boy, he's doing this great, folks. Can he? Oh, but he takes an encounter towards the end. I tell you what, those are some great slink moves from Simpoldood. That's going to end up being the only encounter he takes. So well played there for Simpoldood. And now we see that Jam has made his way to the cave where he's going to rescue the child using, again, the correct fairy strat so that you don't have to worry about that orange Lizalfos. Now here's Simpoldood's in the maze. What he's got to do is got to negotiate through this maze. And it's better to take the long way because it means fewer encounters. Plus, you get to pick up this magic container that'll give you 7 units. Without that magic container, you can't get the 8th magic container. And without the 8th magic container, you can't get the final spell of the game. By taking the shortcuts means more encounters, and that's just going to lose you a lot of time. See, this encounter, Simpoldood has no choice. He has to take this encounter. Ooh, a troll fairy there, but he's just going to go ahead and grab it to fill up the rest of his life. I guess it could be worse, though. Let's see if Jam is able to get through the rest of this encounter free before he goes for the skips. All right, let's see how Jam does with the encounter skips. Does he get lucky with the first one? Yes, he does. So he's now 1 for 1. Simpoldood now is about to enter the Maze Palace. JamEvil goes 2 for 2 on the skips, and he's quite happy about it. So now he too is in the town of Darunia, where he'll get the upward stab and the reflect spell. Simpoldood is here in the Maze Palace. Again, the boss is Karak, and the item is the boots. What the boots are used for is to walk on certain water tiles, which are absolutely required if you want to get to the 5th palace of the game, known as the Palace on the Sea. Simpoldood opted not to use the jump spell, and he makes that long jump. Well done. Simpoldood going for the swag strats there, and it pays dividends, but not before he gets bopped by that axe. All right, neither player has lost a life yet, so we'll see how they do the intentional deaths here by taking these lava baths. Simpoldood taking the first one. That's an intentional death that saves on time. Simpoldood still has 4 lives remaining. Both players are now on 7-3-4. Jam returns the kid to the family there, so he's going to get the reflex spell right here as well. Thank you very much, M Pain Train. I did not see that. It looks like that Jam took an unfortunate death during the fire rant. A bot knocked him into lava. Why am I not surprised that a bot knocked him into the lava? I mean, they're the super bosses of this game. That was unfortunate. That means that's 1 fewer death skip that he can take. Let's see how Jam does on these encounter skips. I don't know if he got that first one. He did not, and he's going to try it again. Gets it on the second time around, so now he is 3 for 3 in the encounter skips. Simpoldood, meanwhile, takes another lava bath, that death abuse he can. He still has 3 lives left, and JamEvil goes 4 for 4 on the Darunia encounter skip, so he played it well. He did have 1 extra time he had to do an encounter, so he's going to lose just a little bit of time. Let's see how he does in the force. Ooh, an early encounter right there. Avoids that troll fairy there. It's just about made it through, and just the 1 encounter, so a very good forest trek for Jam. Simpoldood's in that room I was talking about earlier. You're going to see a lot of these same rooms over and over again. They looked exactly the same. Now, one of them does have a pee bag. It's not this one. It's a later one. Obviously, Simpoldood won't need the pee bag. Instead, what he's going to be going for is attack level 8, but he's going to have plenty of experience points. Jam just picked up the 7th magic container on his way to the Maze Island Palace himself. That P bag is awfully tough to get where Simpoldood just passed. I believe it's worth 100 experience points, but that blue stealthos-like enemy guards his path. Here are those wizrobes. They call them wizards in the game. I still like to call them wizrobes from, of course, the previous Zelda game. And again, the only way you can kill them is by using the reflex spell. No need to do that, because I think they're only worth 100 experience points or something along those lines. You don't see too many wizrobes killed during a 100% run, though. Ooh, Simpoldood taking some damage there, but Simpoldood's going to take it out on that enemy. And JamEvil has just started Palace for himself. There's that aforementioned P bag I was talking about earlier. Again, Simpoldood doesn't need it. JamEvil is now in, again, the beginning of Palace 4. Gets the P bag drops, and Jam's going to take that 200 points. All right, this is the third and final room where you can do the death abuse. If he gets a red jar, he may not take the death. Well, he's going to take the death anyway, though. So Simpoldood went ahead and took all 3 death abuses here in Palace 4. And you have to have enough magic in order to cast. Ooh, does not get the red jar drop. He didn't need the red jar drop. I don't know why he would stab that Iron Knuckle. Maybe he wanted the extra 100 points. I have no idea what JamEvil was thinking there, but he ended up taking a lot of damage from that red Iron Knuckle. He couldn't take the death abuse because he's already taken 1 death. Well, they tried to down stab him, but Simpoldood would have none of it. He's getting very close to the Karak fight. Karak, of course, again, you have to have that reflex spell. Using the fairy spell and leveling up at the same time so that he still has all his magic intact. Nice move there from Jam. So here's the Karak fight. It's all RNG, folks. He's going to stay on the right side. Hopefully the fight doesn't take long and he doesn't get bopped too many times because they can spawn on top of you just like Dracula. Not cooperating, though. It was an okay Karak fight. I think Simpoldood wishes it could have gone a little bit better, but he'll take it. Didn't lose any health. Speaking of health, Jam is dangerously low on health here. He just takes no chances and goes ahead and uses the life spell. This could be a good time to take a death abuse here. We'll see if that's what he has in mind. Yep. Ooh, he does a little bit of a nice little twist there. I'll give him an 8.5 on that die for Jam. So Simpoldood now is going to make his way to the 5th palace of the game. It's known as the Palace on the Sea. And we'll see if he's able to pull off the Eco Key trick this time around. In his last race, he was unsuccessful. We'll see if he can get it, though, this time around. Simpoldood with the all-important attack 8. So he's currently at 8.34. Looks like Jam is trying to shoot for 8.44. Now, to get to attack 5, I'll explain that in just a bit. Let's see if Simpoldood is able to get this Eco Key here. He's giving it a shot here. Does he pull it off? No, he falls a little bit short, so he's got to ferry his way over. Now, to get to Life 5, you need 800 points. To get to Magic 5, it's 1,200 points. And Karak is worth 301 experience points, same as Rebanak. Jam opting to kill these. Oh, nice move to get the 100-point P-Bag and get the 270-point enemies as well. So Jam looking to be in pretty good shape experience-wise to get to 844. Simpoldood getting a red jar drop to refill all the magic he had used to cast the fairy spell on his unsuccessful Eco Key attempt. We'll see if JamEvil tries to pull off that move. Jam down to half of his health here after getting bopped by that red Iron Knuckle. Nice jackhammering of that enemy. Boy, look how high those blocks went. Oh, getting trolled there as he tried to getting trolled yet again. Boy, the blocks are not cooperating with Simpoldood this time around. Finally gets it, but he is continuously getting bopped, and now he uses the fairy spell to just get the heck out of there. Boy, that was not a good room there for Simpoldood. All sorts of trolliness there. Luckily for him, he'll get a red jar out of the statue to refill the rest of his magic. All right, so Jam has made it to this room, this third and final room where he has a chance to use the death abuse. He's down to not much life. He's got to be careful that he doesn't get bopped by those dragon statue floating heads because the gaps are large enough. If you get knocked back, you're going in. And he gets a red Iron Knuckle. He does not get the red jar, and he's not going to take the red abuse. I think he should still have enough magic to cast Reflect, however. Simpoldood jumping over those Magos, or as we like to call them, the Mangoes. Very good enemy to do some experience grinding on if you are short, because they're worth 200 experience points apiece. Now, the item here in the Palace of the Sea is the flute, or as we like to call it, the plunger or the plumber's helper. Because let's face it, that flute does look like a plunger. The flute is used for two areas. One is to ward off the river devil that's blocking the last couple of palaces, and the other use is to use it to gain entrance to that sixth palace, which is known as Three Eye Rock Palace. Nice jackhammering there for Simpoldood of that blue iron knuckle, using the fairy to pick up that flute. Now, Jam is at the Karok fight himself. Let's see if he fares any better than Simpoldood did. Who gets bopped there. It was going pretty well until that final hit. That final hit just would not happen. That almost cost JamEvil a life, but luckily he defeats Karok, and he'll go out of this palace at 844. Boy, he could have saved some time there, but those last few hits. That very last hit on Karok just would not come, and that probably cost him around 10 seconds. So now JamEvil's going to make his way into Palace 5 himself. Simpoldood's getting ready to wrap that one up. Finds the red jar out of that block so he can refill all of his magic, so he's got full everything again. Now, Jam's got to be careful that he doesn't soft lock here. He's getting dangerously close. He just waits there just to be safe. Maybe he could have gone down there, but he did not want to take any chances. I certainly don't blame him. You definitely do not want to soft lock here. All right, so now JamEvil has approached that room. Nope, he is not going to try the eco key. He goes instant fairy, so he'll have to backtrack and pick up the key the normal intended way. Getting trolled by that bubble there, so it's going to cost him a little bit of his life and his magic. Simpoldood needs to get this key that is being guarded by all of these dark nuts. See how he does against this blue iron knuckle. Very good fight there. No problems at all. Let's see how JamEvil fares in this key room. Remember, Simpoldood didn't fare well at all. Let's see if Jam gets better success. He's going to try it. Nice grab there. That was a very good block room there for JamEvil. Well played. Simpoldood just about ready to get to face the boss named Gooma, Gooma, not to be confused with Guma, the smaller boss that kind of looks like him, worth 500 experience points, so he does have enough experience to get to the 9,000 where he can go on the shopping spree. Got to be careful. Gooma deals a tremendous amount of damage. Oh, and a perfect fight there for Simpoldood. No damage whatsoever. He played that really, really well. Ooh, that red iron knuckle decided to be mean to JamEvil right there before he could pick up the key. My goodness gracious. That was quite the bop. Simpoldood is heading for this fixed encounter here, and the reason he's doing that, of course, is because there is a heart container here. That's going to give Simpoldood 7 units on the life meter. Jam just needs a few more experience points to ensure himself that he's going to get the 9,000 himself. Again, Gooma's worth 500 experience points. All right, let's see if Simpoldood is able to execute this river dance here. Yep, gets a good favorable spawn there. So one of the 3 fixed wall encounters, the Wilson wall encounters, is going to be avoided by Simpoldood. And it's time now to level up. He's going on that shopping spree. So he's going to be at, I believe, 866. Yep, he'll cancel there. So that leaves him 200 experience points shy of the next leveling of Magic 7. Simpoldood opting to ferry, which is what he did in his last race. He's going to ferry across these 2 forced screens. But boy, he is getting pummeled by coconuts. These Lizalfos mean business. They are not happy that Link impeded on their property. My goodness, he's getting bopped a million times. Boy, Link's going to have to enter the concussion protocol now after taking all those coconuts to the head. Simpoldood now making his way towards New Kasuto. Let's see if he can get out of this encounter jam. Nice slink there to avoid the encounter. And he makes it. Very well done, Simpoldood. Now we see that JamEvil also has enough experience points for the Karok fight. There's a P-bag drop from that. Hey, use some fire strats on those to kill the Tektites, but he avoided the 200-point P-bag. Doesn't need it. That's a good one, M-Pain Train. He says, what if those are Wilson volleyballs being thrown by Wilson? Hey, why not? Or Wilson, do they make basketballs? I'm pretty sure Wilson makes basketballs. But in any event, Simpoldood's now in the town of New Kasuto, and the agenda here, first of all, he's going to get the spell, but first he refilled on magic. And the spell is important for 2 things. The spell, by the way, remember the magic word, folks. It's not please or thank you, it's spell. The spell allows you to gain entrance to the magical key at the end of town. The second usefulness JamEvil will. Using the fairy to pick up the magical key is Simpoldood. And of course, you do that again to save on the animation. And that's why you grab the final magic container last. Because by grabbing the final magic container last, you refill all of your magic and you don't have to visit any of the old women who will refill your magic. So that saves on a bunch of time there. JamEvil has run a really good race. He is ahead of his current PB splits. But right now, Simpoldood is only running about 30 seconds behind his PB. So even though JamEvil has been playing a really good race, it's been close to a perfect race so far for Simpoldood. Let's see how Jam fares against Guma. As Simpoldood makes his way out of New Kasuto. Ooh, he takes a bopping there. Takes 2 bops there. And remember, he deals a lot of damage, but that was, nonetheless, a very quick kill of Guma by Jam. Not the prettiest way to do it, but it gets the job done. Ooh, meanwhile, Simpoldood is running low on health. These Tektites are giving him the business. He's got to be careful that he doesn't take another bopping or he could lose a life. He makes it. Simpoldood got cornered there. There was nothing he can do about skipping that encounter. Cornered again, but he slinks his way through it. Wow, what a move there by Simpoldood. Simpoldood there is going to pick up the final heart container that's on the beach. So now he's got full everything. Ooh, Fairy trying to troll him. Can he make it to there? Yes, he does. So Simpoldood has now started 3-Eye Rock Palace. And the item in this one is the cross. The cross is useful for being able to see the floating moas that are in both Old Kasuto Town and the Valley of Death. Without the cross, you can't see a thing, and chances are you're going to get killed. Unfortunately for JamEvil, he was unable to execute River Dance, so that's going to cost him a bunch of time. He'll have to go through all 3 Wilson Wall screens. Ooh, Simpoldood tried to do the swag jump, but that bubble just Dikembe tumbled him. Not in my house. Ho, ho, ho. Now, Simpoldood, of course, got to be very careful. There are some false floors here in this hallway, and you don't want to accidentally fall into them because you're going to lose a bunch of time on the way to this area. This Rebanak fight here, this is where the cross is being guarded by this Rebanak. There are 2 Rebanak rematch fights. Well, that was a good first part. Second part, not quite as smooth, but he gets the job done. That was a very good Rebanak fight there for Simpoldood, and this is where the cross is. Ooh, he missed it he missed it again. That's the second time where he could have avoided an encounter, but he overshot his mark by 1 block. So that's going to cost JamEvil a little bit. Otherwise, that was a really good encounter try. JamEvil is making his way to New Kasuto after he gets through these encounters. Simpoldood has to deal with more Wizrobes in this dungeon, and again, he can only kill them with the Reflect spell, but he doesn't have to worry about experience points. He's got what he needs because once he places that crystal in, he can go on yet another shopping spree. Let's see if he can get past this blue iron knuckle. Yep, no problem at all. Can he get the ceiling walk? He's trying for it. Does he get it? He does not get it, so no ceiling walk for Simpoldood. We always like to see those swag strats, but sometimes it just doesn't work out because, hey, the game knows. Simpoldood have to be very careful not to be knocked into that lava by those floating statues there, as Jam has to remember the magic word himself being spell. Next up, Jam will be using the spell in order to get the magical key. Again, a required item because without it, you can't proceed in Palace 6 without the fairy spell, but that would be illegal. If you use the fairy spell to go through a door and you don't have the key, that's a disqualification. Even if you go back to get the key, if you fairy your way through a door and you didn't have the key, that is a disqualification. All right, so let's see what kind of fight Simpoldood has for his second Rebanak fight. A little bit better than the first one, so another quick Rebanak kill there for Simpoldood, so he'll pick up that key as well. All right, Simpoldood has to use that fairy spell. It's the only way to get to this fight coming up. This is the Barba fight, worth 700 experience points. So let's see how he's able to do. Can he get the Yak Hammer 1 cycle? He's going to try for it. Let's see how he does. Beautiful fight. It is a successful jackhammer for Simpoldood. So, boy, he put up a great fight. That was tremendous, folks. What a fight. Barba goes down just like that. Amazing. So he'll get out of Palace 6. He's a little less than 40 seconds behind his PB. So if he plays this well, he could get a sub 76 time. And in a race, that is amazing. Of course, you're going to use that fairy spell across this precarious bridge that's guarded by those Bagos and that Zora, because there are 4 gaps where you can easily get knocked into the water. Now, you won't use it coming back. Now, here he is in Old Kasuto, and you saw those floating Moas. There's the heart pickup, the final heart pickup for JamEvil. Let's see if he can get to Palace 6 without having to be trolled by an encounter. It looks like he's going to be safe. And he is, barely, but he makes it. There's the Thunder Spell pickup for Simpoldood. The Thunder Spell you have to have for the Thunderbird fight in the Great Palace. Without it, you can't lay a finger on him. Simpoldood doing it the dangerous way without the fairy. A lot of things being thrown at him, but he gets through it. Boy, some great dodging there from Simpoldood. And I got a feeling JamEvil made a mistake in that pit. All right, Simpoldood, a very dangerous encounter skip here. You got to get past this final Wilson wall by trying to take the encounter on the road, which he does successfully, so he doesn't have to worry about despawning this red jar. But he doesn't need the red jar. He's already full on magic. But he's in big trouble with these encounters. Couldn't quite get past that encounter, so that'll cost him just a little bit. But he does get this encounter skip here very successfully. No problems there at all. Now, what I mean by the red jar despawning, some players, not Simpoldood though, but most players, they will need to get that jar to the right of the beginning of the Valley of Death. But if you take an encounter and fail the encounter skip, there's a chance of despawning that red jar, especially if you get the heavy encounter and you get to the Wilson wall. And if that happens, you're going to despawn the red jar and you're going to be out of luck. So here's the first Rebanak fight. Ooh, got hit a few times to Jam, but he's able to take care of the Rebanak. No worries there. He's still got half of his health left. Simpoldood is now halfway through the Valley of Death as JamEvil has picked up the cross in Palace 6. Ooh, Max the Scorpion giving Simpoldood a lot of fits. It's a slow trek. Causes some damage on him, but he's not able to kill him. We saw a kill of Max the Scorpion Thursday night. That was one of the sweetest things I had ever seen. So get him controlled of it, so it'll cost him a little bit, but still not that bad. That was the final encounter for Simpoldood in the Valley of Death, so well played for him. JamEvil continued making his trek in Palace 6. And Simpoldood is still about 40 seconds from his PB. So if he has a great Palace, again, he could get a sub 76. And again, in a race, that would be quite impressive. Ooh, Blue and Iron Knuckle giving Jam some troubles here. Well, let's see if he can get the swag ceiling walk here. Nope, he can't get it either. All right, so here in the Great Palace is Trolls Abounds. And by the way, Simpoldood's only 41 experience points away from getting to Magic 8, which he should have no trouble reaching at all. You've got these spicy chickens that are guarding a lot of these stairway areas, and they are worth 200 experience points, but they cause a tremendous amount of damage. And even on attack 8, they require, I believe, 6 hits to kill them. And then there's going to be a second set of enemies coming up that are even more trollier than the spicy chickens, and you'll see them in just a bit. So there's another spicy chicken. He gets through it no problem at all. JamEvil has to ferry his way across that lava. It's the only way. Otherwise, you got to intentionally take a death here if you don't have enough magic. Ooh, but he's getting trolled by these bubbles here, but he does eventually make it. Here's his second Rebanak fight that's going to be coming up shortly. And here he is, Scott Bakula. Oh, boy. Jumps all over the place. He throws swords at you, and they're very fast, and they take a lot of hits. And they deal a lot of damage. So here's the second Rebanak fight for Jam. Pretty good fight there. He did take one hit, but that was pretty fast. Meanwhile, this spicy chicken's giving Simpoldood some heartburn here. He took a couple of hits there, and he's going to have to use his life spell there to refill some of his lost life. Hoping for the lucky jar here. No, he's not going to take it. He doesn't need it. Jam's now getting ready to do the Barba fight himself. Here's the blue version of the Bird Knights, some more Scott Bikulas. Looks like he cooperates, so that was a pretty good room there for Simpoldood. And now going for the jackhammer is Jam. What a great fight. They both get the successful jackhammer on Barra. Two great Barra fights in this race. However, because of the fall that he took earlier, Jam, he's unfortunately a little bit behind his PB, but still, this has been a great run for JamEvil so far. And look at this. Simpoldood finds himself one lousy experience point short of the 6,000 at this moment. Geez, what are the odds of that? Ooh, Scott Bikula giving Simpoldood some problems here. And let's see if he can get past this and the giant bubble. No, he takes a hit there. He's down to 2 bars of life. Look out. He's coming after you. You made it, Simpoldood. Now, Jam here is in Old Kasuto Town. He's about to pick up the final spell as well, the Thunder spell, needing to kill Thunderbird. He's going to kill this. Oh, but he gets a blue jar drop. He was killing that blue bot to try and get the last 10 points he needs. Instead, he gets a blue jar drop, and that means he's going to have to kill something else, probably the Miyu on the bridge, or maybe one of these bots. No, he has no magic. He's going to take the Death Abuse, I think. No, he's not going to take the Death Abuse. What is Simpoldood thinking? Well, he's good. Oh, he's going to fill up his magic right here. That's right. I forgot. Ooh, that Mew tried to troll Simpoldood, but he's able to downward stab it, so he's in good shape. However, he's got to be careful. Couple of hits, and Simpoldood's going to lose a life and miss out on a potential chance at sub 76. So here it is, the Thunderbird fight. And since he has Magic 8, he can cast all the goodies. Thunder, Jump, Shield, and Reflect. Let's see what kind of Thunderbird fight Simpoldood has. Got to be careful. Oh, he took a bopping there. One more hit, and that's going to cost him. But he's able to get the final hit on Thunderbird, getting 1,000 experience points, which in almost every case, the experience points don't matter. It did matter in one race with John Bloody Thumbs because he needed it to level up on life. So Simpoldood cannot get hit by Dark Link. Looks like sub 76 is not going to happen for him, but this is still going to be a really strong race. But Dark Link, one hit from him, and he'll have to try the fight again. And he is using the fire spell. He's doing the fire swag strats. He's got 3 more hits left to go on Dark Link, 2 more hits to go on him, 1 more hit left to go. Can he get it? Yes, he does. It's a perfect fight for him, and that will do it. Simpoldood wins, and he clocks in at a time of 76 minutes and a little bit of change. Boy, he forgot to end his split there. Now he ends his split. But he finished with a time of just over 76 minutes. Boy, the official SRL time, according to JLO7, we've got an official time of 76 minutes and 21 seconds. Boy, what a time put up there by Simpoldood. Congratulations. So he's now got 3 victories on his side of the board. JamEvil's played a really great race so far. He's just about ready to finish the first half of the Valley of Death. Let's see how the Scorpion treats Jam, if it treats him any better than it did Simpoldood. And I've just been informed that that's a race PB by 20 seconds for Simpoldood, so congratulations on a well-played race. I mean, he really had a great time. All right, JamEvil had very few problems. Was he able to get that encounter skip? It was close. He got it. So no more worries on the Valley of Death for JamEvil as he makes his way into the Great Palace himself. Just has to get through one more screen. Just a little bit of troll on that red Resolvals, but no damage taken. He goes into it 886 as well. All right, and we have Simpoldood here in the commentator's booth. Simple, congratulations on your race PB. That was by 20 seconds. Boy, 76 minutes, 21 seconds. That is quite fast. Well done. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. So go over this race. It didn't look like you had too many problems there. I mean, I think the one thing that really trolled you was that wall key in Palace 5. I mean, how many times did you get trolled trying to grab that?
I think three or four times I got pushed back down and tried to get up there again.
Yeah, and the other trolley part was Max the Scorpion in the Valley of Death. I mean, you had to do it the slow and sure way, and you even got a hit on him before you got out of there, so that was pretty nice. But you ran a really good race. I mean, not much was stopping you at all.
Yeah, I think the 200s in P1 helped out again, and the red jar drop in P5 after a failed eco key helped save time or not lose a lot of time.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Yep. No eco keys in these two races here. Maybe we'll see him in the next one. But hey, you did play a really good race, and we're seeing Jam right now. He's in the Great Palace as well. I saw that he knocked that spicy chicken to his falling death right there, so that was pretty fun. He doesn't need to get any more experience points. He's already at 886, so he's good to go. Let's see how he does against Scott Bicula. He only threw one sword, so he's in good shape. So yeah, you're now a 3-0, Simpoldood. You're making this look pretty easy. So congratulations, keep up the good work. It looks like you've got one more race left in group play. So congratulations, and hope you have a good rest of the day. And if you have any, excuse me, if I can talk, have you anything else to say before we call it?
Yeah, I'm not sure when my next race is. We haven't heard much from the last opponent, so hopefully by next week.
Sounds good to me. Meanwhile, we've got JamEvil. He gets the lucky red jar drop from that Bird Knight statue, and now he's going to try and tackle the Scott Bicula room right here. Let's see how he cooperates. He's throwing a lot of swords, trying to... Ooh, Scott Bicula not playing nice today with Jam. Took a few sword boppings there. He lost 3 of his life meter points. Tell you what, Jam was on PB pace for a while, but when he made that error on Palace 6, that ended up putting him in the red because he's played a really good race himself. I think he only took 1 death, and it was an unfortunate death to the bots in, I believe, Palace 3. And it happened, and I actually didn't see that because it happened during my fire rant. Much cleaner Scott Bicula room this time for Jam. He does not take any damage, and he still has half of his health left. Jam's now approaching the home stretch. This final spicy chicken that he's got to get through. Let's see if he can get through it. Yep, no problems there. So now he just has to break his blocks to get to the bottom where he'll have to see that boss spot. Oh yeah, speaking of the boss spot, I believe you used the spell on the boss spot. That was a pretty nifty move you did in the previous race.
Yeah, I saw that I was low in XP, so I had to get it somewhere.
Watch out. Ooh, that Mew thought about trolling JamEvil for just a second, but it stayed on the ledge. No, he doesn't have to go back. He could take T-Bur with half of his health. He thought about getting the red potion, but he went ahead and he's going to face off against T-Bur. He's got half of his health, and he can cast all of the goodies. He didn't cast Shield. He forgot to cast Shield, and he just realizes it. Oh, boy, he's in trouble. One more hit, and he's out. He needs... Oh, and he takes a death to Thunderbird. That's unfortunate. Yep, that was a critical mistake there on Jam's part. He forgot to cast Shield before the fight began, and he literally got burned. And this time he forgets to cast Jump. Oh my goodness. Ooh, takes a beating there. Takes a second beating. Wow, my goodness gracious. T-Bird not cooperating with Jam. He's got 2 more hits to get on him, and he got him. So that takes care of Thunderbird, so he can get this key here and face off against Darkling and finish the run himself. All right, so here he comes. It's the Darkling fight. He has plenty of health for that, so that should not be a problem for Jam. So he's going to finish with a very strong time himself. 5 more hits. Now 4 more hits left to go on Dark Link. 3 more, 2 more. This has been a pretty good Dark Link fight for JamEvil. He takes quick work of Dark Link, so that'll do it. JamEvil has an unofficial time of 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 37 seconds. We'll get the SRL time very shortly. Very good run indeed. And now we do have that. Boy, look at this. You can't make this stuff up, folks. JamEvil's SRL time, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a perfect sequential straight. Can you believe that? So that is insane. 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 45 seconds. So again, congratulations, JamEvil, on a very good race for himself. We'll see if we have him in the booth in just a moment. He's thanking everybody in JLo's chat. So, yeah, good race for him. But, yeah, if he would have casted everything properly the first time around, he probably PBs here. By the way, we're going to have more exciting action on the Zelda 2 tournament later on tonight. There's another race that we have scheduled. There is currently no restream on it right now, so you'll have to keep your eyes peeled on the Google Docs to see where it's going to be. But later on tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, we have a matchup between Light Z and JSR2 Gamers. That is a Group E matchup, just for those of you who may be trying to follow the scoring system here. Yep, they're doing it just like the World Cup. This is a round-robin style matchup for the preliminaries. Everybody faces off against each other once. So there's 4 matches for all the players.